So that's my journey of how I become unexpectedly early retired in the Cayman Islands. But I can't complain. It's not a bad place to start your retirement, but it was just a big surprise. Good morning and welcome to the Jay's Life and Adventure Diaries. I'm just on 7 Mile Beach in the Cayman Islands. That's where Steve and I are living at the moment. And I've just come for my early morning coffee, I should say, at my favourite tiki restaurant cum cafe bar. I'll just twist you around so you can have a quick look at the beach. So today's vlog is about how I became unexpectedly early retired here in Cayman. But before we get into that, let's grab a coffee. Americano, please. Thank you. Hi, I've grabbed my coffee, and I've had to come to a quieter place. So I'm just under a little hut sort of type thing, because there was too much music going on in Bonnie Boons. And I didn't want to get a YouTube copy strike. Anyway, let's get on to why I've become unexpectedly early retired whilst living in the Caymans. We did do our research before coming out. Steve was offered a position here, and I was a solo trader with a thriving business in Wellington, New Zealand. And we did research, and I understood that I needed to get a business license, and that was about it. And we thought, oh no, that should be good. I should be able to re-establish my business while we are here for 3 years. So that's a short time span really for any business to get up and running. Anyway, when we arrived, there were a few more bits and pieces to it. So I picked up a very useful magazine called The Resident. I'll put a picture up. Anybody coming to live here, that is a really good magazine to have. It's like a little Bible. It tells you about everything, including business. But what I'd learnt in the first couple of months while we were here is that I couldn't set up as a solo trader because only Caymanians can. So what that meant was that I would have to find a Caymanian business person to be a silent partner, and that would incur me paying them a monthly fee for being a partnership or silent partner in my business. So that was the first thing. The second thing was that I needed to get a work visa. We were under the understanding that I wouldn't need to get one because I was on Steve's visa, but I would have to get my own visa, and that's a yearly visa, and it's not always granted. And sometimes you need to, while you apply, sometimes you have to go off island whilst it's being processed. And here, it can be quite some time, months sometimes. So that was another thing. And there was an annual fee with that as well. Also, I needed to apply for a business license, and they have all different categories for different businesses, and there's different fee levels. And for the business that I've been running for many years in New Zealand, the fee was astronomical. So adding all that up, it wasn't viable to establish a business here. We did look into perhaps that I could still work some of my clients in New Zealand, but there was an added complication with that because when we left New Zealand, we actually had applied as non-tax residents. So if I started to put money back into my business account, then that would break the non-tax residency status. And I had to move location because today there's a large cruise ship in, and the place that I was sat, it was becoming increasingly busy. So I came to the realisation that I wasn't going to be able to set up my business here in the Caymans, and neither was I going to be able to work in any capacity because I am named as a dependent on Steve's visa. I am able to volunteer. So as you can imagine, that really put a spanner in the works in a mindset capacity. Because I hadn't come here to the Caymans to retire. So bearing all this in mind, the new challenge was how was I going to create meaning and purpose as a retired person here. So in the first year, I enrolled in a 200-hour yoga teacher training. It was one of the things on my bucket list. And I thought, well, now I've actually got the time to do that. That's what I will do. And that was really good because it took up a lot of my time. In between times, I could go to different groups and try different things and meet new people. I joined the yoga studio as well, and that was is absolutely fabulous because the teachers there, they're very experienced. They've all got 20 years plus experience, and they were very supportive with any questions that I had when I was doing my training or about my practice. So that was really great, and I really enjoy being a part of that yoga community as well. Steve and I have also been able to join the sailing community because we are passionate about sailing. Back in New Zealand, we have a 60-foot yacht, and we do miss taking her out for sailing adventures. So it's been great, that lots of people ask us out to crew and So that's very wonderful. So we've made friends through that. I've also found my tribe here as well, because I have friends who have found themselves in the same sort of situation, not being able to either start their business or gain employment out here. So that's been very nice to have friendships that sort of understand what you're going through. In the first year I did apply for all different kinds of volunteering, but unfortunately I was unsuccessful and I didn't hear back from organisations. But a friend of mine told me that people who want to live here in Cayman permanently and are going for their residency get priority, which is fine. So, but that put it all in perspective for me. But now I'm a trained yoga teacher. I do volunteer for the international ladies, and I teach a class with them once a week, and I do chair yoga, which is great. It's a win-win situation because I get to put classes together and put what I'd learnt in the 200 hours into practice, and they're a lovely community. So that's my journey of how I become unexpectedly early retired in the Cayman Islands. But I can't complain. It's not a bad place to start your retirement, but it was just a big surprise. So in our next vlog, Steve and I will take you for a day out around the island and also to sample some Caribbean food. So thanks for watching and bye for now.
See you on Saturday.